Hello creatives and welcome back. Tonight we are going to be working on a design that I think some of you will like. It is the pancake method. So a lot of times when I'm showing you how to make the ruffle method, you automatically think that it's the pancake method because it looks very similar. So we are going to be doing it on a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. I'm going to show you how we're going to put it all together, and then hopefully this is another design you can add to your crafting resume. Super simple to do. So if you want to keep this tutorial, which I'd highly recommend if you've never done a pancake method before and you just want to kind of keep that in your arsenal of like, okay, how do I do the pancake method again? Click the share button down below. It'll share it to your Facebook page where you'll have access to it whenever you need to. Also, if you guys want to be notified when I go live, do me a favor and make sure you've both liked and followed my page. Now, the like button is easy to find. It's the follow button that Facebook has hidden, but you can uncover it by right to where you find like. If you go to the three dots over to the right-hand side of that, click on that. It'll open up a menu that allows you to now follow the page by doing both. When you happen to be on your device and you have your notifications turned on, it should notify you that we are now going live. Also, let me get everything all pulled up. I have Steve out here today, so he's sitting out here with me. Are you going to pin it?
Yeah, but I think I can only pin it again from there.
From my phone?
Yeah, no, from the iPad.
Oh. Well, let me do it here. Hold on. Let me get my comments so I'm just going to go ahead and type in the website address, so that if you guys are interested in this design, it is currently available for sale right now. Send, click.
Hi, everyone.
Pin. There we go. And Cheryl. See? Cheryl says, hi, C. So hi, nice Cheryl. To hear your voice. Yeah. So, yeah, I have Steve as a
hi, Diane.
My commentator for today. So I have pinned my website. Like I said, if you're interested in joining my private group, we have gone bigger than we have ever gone before in bringing you way more content without upping the price. So if you want to join, make sure you head on over to my website and check that out. Again, if you're interested in this design, it's the only one I make. All of my designs are one-of-a-kind creations because I want you guys to always have the original. You deserve the very best. So, YouTube subscribers, if you want to participate in a Facebook Live, make sure you head on over to my Facebook page, Cats Creations Wreaths, every Tuesday at 4 Pacific and every Thursday at 11 Pacific. You will catch those live tutorials for yourselves. And I've already got everything up, so I'm going to go ahead and pivot you guys down. So hang on. We're going down because this one's a little bit different. If you know how to do your scrunch method, I'm going to readjust my camera so it's actually even. If you know how to do your ruffle method, this is going to be super easy. Hi, Audrey. Welcome. Yes, it is a rainy and very cold day today. So we're doing this on a Dollar Tree wreath frame. The way that it got started, so this is the way I'm going to teach you, because pancake boards are not always readily available. So in the event that you want to do it old school, I'm teaching you the old school way. So you're going to need 12 pipe cleaners, and I'm going to show you how to wire this together, like I said, on a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. This one just happens to be the gold because we're doing gingerbread. So we're staying with the tans, the browns, greens, a little touch of white and red. So what I've done is similar to what we've done when we're wiring together the inside. So nothing changes for the inside too, meaning in every section, you're going to wire together the 2 inside rings, just like this. Just like I'm doing here. We've wired in the 2. That gives us 6. Okay, so that's inside, and then you're going to be doing outside 6. Remember, when we're doing a regular ruffle, we do inside 6 and then outside 12 for a grand total of 18. This one we're doing grand total of 12. So a little less. Then what you're going to do for your outside 2 is on the welds, because we're going to be creating gaps in between. We need to fill that gap. You are going to take your pipe cleaner, and I like to go up the inside of my weld and then just wire together the 2 outside. So it's right on the weld mark. So I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see that. I'm going to go ahead and do it again here on the outside. We're going up through the cross beam. I'm going to even out my pipe cleaner, make sure I've got enough on both sides, and then we're twisting here. So now we have 6 on the inside, 6 on the outside. So do you guys have any questions at all about how to wire together your Dollar Tree 14-inch frame for a pancake wreath? This is only for pancake. I'll give you guys a couple seconds. Let me show you while you guys are asking any questions you have about the wiring detail. I'll probably do a quick YouTube video on how to wire a 14-inch Dollar Tree frame for pancake method, just to help, because I always get those questions like, you know, I came in late, I didn't see how you wired together everything. Having those simple basic tutorials really help. So we're using a 10-inch sign, and this sign is from Personalize It by Pam. It's just a little gingerbread boy. It's the stained glass signs that are really popular right now. So this is the inspiration for tonight's design. We are pairing that with got stuck on Velcro, a jute red and green foil deco mesh. So it's half jute, half metallic foil. So we're going to give it a little bit of sparkle, but not too much. These you have to cut with a wood burning tool, because those jute fibers are not going to burn with a wood burning tool. So rotary cut. We're cutting these 12 pieces, because they're all going in all the pipe cleaners, to 20-inch pieces. And we're going to do the same ruffle method. And we're starting the outside only when we place these. So we're going to go right up the middle of this mesh. We're going against the curl. I just use the scissors to weigh down the end of my mesh so it doesn't pull up. So now we're taking this outside, right? We're going to lay it here. This particular wreath gets created in layers. Dottie says, I wanted to thank you for the tutorial on making the dragon wreath. I made a red one and love it. I really want to make the silver one next. I love watching you. Well, thank you for that, Dottie. I appreciate you. Yeah. Okay, so remember, we're not doing the inside ones. We'll do the inside ones last. So we're just putting, and the way that I'm doing this is they kind of look like little doilies. So the very edges, this is where it's likely to fray. I just like barely bend over about a ½ inch, kind of overlap those. Okay. Overlap and overlap. It's going to be more apparent when we put the top layer on top of these. The bottom layer is usually a little bit easier. Ciao. Oh. He's going to catch our UPS driver so he doesn't have to get out of his truck in the rain. So here, again, outside. So these are going right on the crossbars. Okay. Again, one over the other. Now they're going to start to overlap. Bring one over the other, just like that. And we're going to go to the next. Shirley, this is 10-inch deco mesh cut to 20 inches long. You are absolutely correct. With a rotary cutter, because you cannot do wood burning. on a jute mesh. It would just smoke every time it got to one of those jute fibers. And that's kind of not what we want. We need it to cut. So I'm doing 1, 2 twists, doing overlap, overlap. So see, I'm taking and folding my cut edge so those raw edges are not being exposed that much. And this is going to go really quick. There's not an awful lot to the pancake wreath, which is why when people see me put those on, when we do the inside, sometimes they'll say, oh, here's how we can make it easier for you. Let's do just the inside 6, and everyone automatically assumes it's pancake because it kind of looks that way, but it's not. So I
think I'm going to change the ribbon on mine. Tried making it without buying anything new. I don't like the glue I used. Love this mesh.
Who said that?
Cheryl.
Cheryl? I liked her blue. It's different. Because she used, when you're looking at the sign, it does have a lot of blues and a lot of greens in it. So I'm choosing to just disregard the blue background. And I'm picking up on the brown and green tones. So you'll see once we put the sign on, I think it'll start to pull the greens down even more. It'll make the green in the sign pop. And then he does have little pieces of red, like he's got buttons, his bows, the holly berries around it has the red. So I'm keeping it your traditional Christmas colors.
Carrie, I believe that's a 10-inch round, right? It's a 10-inch round?
Yes, it is a 10-inch round from Personalize It by Pam on Etsy. So we're starting with the bottom layer first. It has a bottom layer and a top. And then I'll talk to you too as we get to those points where variations to the method might be a little different. People just call this the doily method.
Sharon said, Kat, I've been gathering all the things needed for the Christmas table decoration. Bought big bags of varying shades of plain, glitter, and shaped baubles from our local thrift store. Can't wait to get the silver metal rings so I can finally start.
Oh, those are going to be just amazing. You're going to love the end result. Okay, so 6 are done to the outside. Remember, these are the 2 outside ones done on the welds. So now we're going to put it in our ribbons. I know it seems odd. So this is the ribbon combination. So you're going to use a lot less ribbon too. So we're doing the gingerbread boy and girl on the 2.5 inch on green. You can get that from Craft Outlet. And then we're doing the gingerbread. And this is on a white velvet, believe it or not. And this is from Craft Outlet as well. We're cutting both pieces to 14 inches. And what you're going to do is you're going to put them both in there at the same time. So I am making sure my ribbon is straight. I am going to fold it in half so we can find true center. We're going to gather. And we're going to lay one set inside. And then you're going to go one up and one down. And then one down and one up. These are just basically supposed to be feathering the outside edge pieces. And we are removing our pipe cleaners now. I know it seems like, wow, that's hardly anything in there. But remember, we're making these so they fit inside a storm door. So a storm door generally has about 3 to 4 inches. So you're just going to bring those to the outside. That's all they do. They're coming to the outside. Moving over, we're going to do another 2 pieces. And I'm just keeping them all the same. You could alternate the colors, but basically you're going to need 12 14-inch pieces of each ribbon, a 2.5 and an 1.5 inch. And you can do 2 2.5s, you can do 2 1.5 inches, you can alternate and do 6 and 6. It's whatever, honestly, you would like to do. You're the designer, you decide. And I'm going to take that and tuck this under that one. Okay, moving on to the next one. I tried to have them all. These are all dovetail edged. So everything is already cut and prepped. Okay. Always pulling down. And then we're going slightly up. Going around. And you'll see why a lot of people like these is because you're not using a lot of material, but it's still going to turn out a really cute, adorable product. Oh, I forgot to take these off. I'm so used to leaving them on. We're snipping off the ends, and then we're just taking that little nub and pushing it back to the inside. One high, one low. Go back over here. Take these ones off. And you'll see why. Why aren't you putting any more things on the bottom? It looks so plain. You'll understand when we do the next layer. Okay. Spin it. Prefer to have these like open straight up and down. Do you guys have any questions at all that I can answer for you right now? Here's that.
Cheryl asked me, how's life on the farm?
How's life on the farm? Very wet today.
Yeah, but still loving it.
Yeah. We prayed for our deer today because we hear the shotguns going off and it's deer hunting season until the end of this month. So we're hoping, because there is no limit to what you can hunt as far as black-tailed deer. You can hunt the babies, you can hunt the moms, you can hunt the dads, which I think is wrong.
Well, I think each person only gets one tag.
Yeah, I think it's only one per, but again, who's going to regulate? There's not enough people to regulate. But I'm just praying that they all have a very successful time and we get to see them again in the spring. Or technically at the beginning of December, we'll know who made it through and who didn't. Who comes back and who doesn't. Okay, so that is bottom layers. Yes, Kathy, it's a 14-inch Dollar Tree frame that we wired for the pancake, right? That's what I think. Poor Bambi's. I literally was out in my orchard picking apples for the ones that were here, and I heard the shotguns going off, and I wanted to just start crying. I was like, Lord, please let the deer babies just make it, because I'm hoping that, people are educated to be smart.
Yeah, we haven't seen two of our big bucks in quite a while.
Yeah. So we're praying they made it through. So now what I'm doing is I'm bringing the ones that we had on the inside to the inside. So I'm bringing them back up. Because right now, remember we pushed them down. So I'm just bringing them up between the two. And then just moving those down. Because what we're going to do next is exactly what we did on the bottom.
Cheryl said she's curious to see what you do with bows around the edge.
Oh, there won't be any. That's pretty much it. On this design in particular, Yeah, no, nothing. They just stay with the ribbon tails because, and you'll see with the next layer, when I put it on, it like almost completely covers what you just did. So now we're going to put in the other 6 pieces of deco mesh. Exactly what we did on the 6 outside, we're going to do to the 6 inside. Exactly like what we just did. So we're going to ruffle our mesh. We're going to lay these now over the top of the other ones. Remember, we want to leave those in place. Now we're doing the same thing, folding our edges over. Okay, and see how it starts to cover. So really all you see is little peekaboo parts to what was there before. Okay, you go under, you go up.
Diane said for a change we're having no rain this weekend near Boston and then the 70s.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so you probably got what everybody else has been having for like the last week or 2 weeks. Nothing but sun. But it's officially fall. So again, right over the top. 2 twists. Make your little doilies with your little edges. You know, like where they adjoin. Just let them overlap. That's totally fine. One on top of the other. Just like so. And I know you're probably thinking, well, why did you put ribbon down on the bottom if you're just going to cover it up? So that it has something on the outside edge. This is old school pancake method. Because now the new pancake methods that people are working with, they use even less mesh than this. So I feel like if you're going to pay for it, you got to pay for the quality of the materials you're using. So there needs to be something there. So back up, overlap. We're going to overlap this one on top of that. We're going to bring this around. Nice little doily. So we're ready for the next one. We're halfway through adding our other pieces. Because even when I did this method the first time, I was like, well, what's the point of the ribbon on the bottom? You're just covering it all up. You can't even see it. But you can. Like when you're physically looking at it, you can see it. It's not completely gone. So basically it's just the little tail tips that you're seeing. And that's why we fan everything to the outside. Because on the inside it doesn't matter.
Joan, sorry to hear that. She said we have suffered Storm Babette here in the UK. It totally wrecked my greenhouse.
Oh no. I am so sorry for that loss.
You know what that means? Time to build a bigger and better greenhouse.
A bit bigger and stronger, right? I know.
What do this next year is build a greenhouse.
Well, I think it's on our, yeah, it's on the, that's true.
Spring
of 2024. If you use 2.5 inch ribbons, you'll see more of the edges. Yeah, you can, Carrie, but it's still going to just be on the bottom layer. It really is a little harder because if you look, my, both of the ribbons, you can still see them. Like here, this is completely covered, but you can still see those. Those aren't completely hidden. So it just feels like, you know, you're covering up all the work you just did. It's to create a more thin wreath. And that's what customers with storm doors need, is a flatter wreath without sacrificing the quality. So here's our last piece.
early in Cat said it's finally raining in Texas.
Oh, good for you guys.
Carrie asked if you use 2.5-inch ribbons, do you see more on the edges?
Yeah, that's what I told. Yeah. So there is this. Again, sometimes you have to just readjust the other ones as the top layers lay over the top. We're going to push this one underneath so that these now lay on top. Okay, now what we're going to be doing is the exact same thing we did on the bottom, which is we're taking our 2 ribbons and we are laying them in the same way, folding so you know where your exact midway point is. You're going to stick those right down in the middle, and this will help pull the bottom guys. You know, you're like, oh, okay, that's what that is. They're peeking in from the outside. So yes, and we are cutting these off as well. So I'm going to tuck these ones down. And then again, make sure you're puffing, like you have to put your fingers on the underside to get them to arch out. And then we're going to go to the next set. I find if I just match up my V's, sometimes. That didn't work in that case. So 5 twists, snip it, tuck it, pop that out, and then same thing. We're just making them to where they alternate patterns all the way around. Tucking that back in. Go under. Because every time you put your ribbon in, it wants to pucker downward. So we want to put our fingers underneath and pop them out. So this way they arch up and over. And see how these guys are a little poofy? It's time for us to get them to all lay down. So we've got to get the bottom layer to lay flat so that the ones on top can overlap. And then we've got one right here that needs to overlap on the other. So now we've got flat space. It'll all come together. And you can put, you know, you can go with a rectangular sign. You can go with a round. You could put a plush in the center. It all depends on you, what you like, what you want. How many of you have done a pancake wreath before? And do you prefer it or not? Like, I think it's good to always have something available for people who are looking for a much thinner wreath and maybe not as full, because most of my wreaths are about 6 inches full. This one's going to yield a, I think it's about 3 inches full by the time it's all said and done. So again, under, laying over. There we go. So we can get that last
and
piece.
Yeah, it's similar. Yeah, it's pancake style. Linda said, Kat, what if you did the outside pipe cleaners in 10 by 20 inch deco mesh and the inside pipe cleaners 5 by 20 inch? 5 inch.
You could. You might see a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think though that if we took this in and made it half as much, I think based on your deco mesh thickness and quality, you might really see your frame. And I think for a lot of clients, that's a big turnoff, is seeing your frame. So I think that's why this used to be done this way, is because it still hides your frame. So you can't really tell, you know, did you put that on a Unique in the Creek frame? Did you put that on a board? What are you doing?
Yeah, Jones has never made a pancake wreath. Anna says, me, love it, quick and easy, right, Anna?
It is. They are super easy to do.
David said, I've never done a pancake wreath, but I will now after watching your tutorial.
Yep. And matter of fact, if you were going to teach a class of new wreath makers, this is the easiest method to teach them, because you could have all your mesh cut in 12 pieces. You could have your 14-inch wreath frames with 12 pipe cleaners. Walk people through the assembly process. And so what I like right now is it looks like it's got this weird star pattern. Like you can see the deco mesh on the inside. And then that's where we're going to go ahead and place our sign. So let me go ahead and...
It looks like a quilting star, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It looks like a quilting star. So we are going to punch our holes top and bottom. I'm using a 1.5 millimeter Beadsmith metal hole punch, which operates just like a paper hole punch, but it's metal. So it's designed to punch holes in metal, which is where we're going to take our floral wire, or you can use a pipe cleaner. I just have better success with the floral wire, especially with the jute.
Kim also said she's never done pancake wreath.
Okay.
So I need to try it because most people in her area have storm doors.
So this will be perfect. Plus, you can price them lower because you're not using as much material. You're only using, you're only using a third less. So we're taking 22 gauge floral wire. This is what I'm using. And I'm going to build and twist my wire right over the hole in my sign. And what this does is it creates about a 1/4 inch base so that you don't see the wires protruding out of the front of the sign like a little spinner. This is designed more to lay flat. So again, right over the hole, I'm just twisting.
Beth asked, Kat, would you consider making a gravestone saddle? I need to make 2 and would like some of your inspiration. Otherwise, it'll just be winging it. I mean, you have videos of like centerpieces you could double for like a...
We can do that. Basically, the way I would do it, Beth, is just if we're going to make one, I would kind of follow my similar formula for how we put together the table runners centerpieces and kind of go along those lines. So I definitely want my gingerbread to kind of like line up. You know, I don't want him like in between here. I want him like where it's V'ing here and V'ing here into my ribbon. So I'm going to take and get my wire where I want it to wind up. So right here at that V, I'm just inserting my floral wire, and then I'll bring this up and see how that, because we built it to the back, it doesn't want to come out the top. It wants to lay flat on our wreath. So I'm just gonna put like one twist in it just to keep me from pulling it the opposite direction. And I want to always make sure these are laying flat. Everything must be flat. Right in here. And we're going to add another one. The wire is, I mean, it's perfect for going through all that jute, lining this up again, pulling that right down nice and snug. So this is where a 10-inch line works perfectly, just like so. And now we can go ahead and twist, and then we'll be able to remove our, whatchamacallit, the wires, the excess wire on the back. So you can go ahead and just, you know, splay out your ribbons.
Yep, that's it. Thanks for the suggestion. Also, the ribbon is playing up the green and the sign, so pretty.
That's exactly what it was supposed to do. Is, you know, I didn't want to copy you, Cheryl. So I went green and tan gingerbread, because Cheryl did one a little bit more blue. And so now wherever we have these indents, we're going to add a little embellishment to that just to kind of draw the brown, the chocolate brown back in. But before we do that, we're going to make a simple bow. And we're going to put our bow down here at the bottom, or you can put it up here in the corner. It doesn't matter. But it's going to be way different ribbon, or way different bow than you've seen me do. So we're only using 1.5 inch ribbon. Those same colors. We're using our gingerbread men. We're doing a green and white Swiss dot and then a solid brown. And that's the way they're going to go in the Bow-Dabra. So this is a different formula because we can't have a big bow because this is supposed to be storm door friendly. So our bow needs to not be big and fluffy and intrusive, but it still needs to look like a bow. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to start with my brown, is we're going to dovetail the edges, which simply just is fold your wired edges together. You're going to cut on that folded side down to the wired point. And depending upon how deep you want your V is how high up on that, that fold you want to be. But the destination point is always the same. So as you can see, we have a really nice V. So we are doing these at 8 inches. So we're measuring 8 inches. We're going to pinch in. I'm just using the Bow-Dabra because I like it. It holds my ribbon nicely. And we're going to measure out a 5-inch tail. So you bring your Bow-Dabra, line it up right here on the 10-inch line, right here, so that when I'm pulling this out, I want to be able to see. Let's get you lined up. Exactly where 5 inches falls. So I need to go a little bit further. So there's 5 inches. And we're going to do that on both sides. Measure. Make sure that one's way too big. There's 5 inches. And we're going to do it one more time. On one side only. So because you have the bottom already measured, just put your fingers in both loops and pull. Okay, line it back up on your 10-inch line. And we're going to cut right at 8 inches for our tail for this bow.
Cheryl Waters asked what would be prices?
It's all going to be materials cost. So I have to look at like what my, what the jute mesh was. There's my pen. What the cost of that is, and then my sign and whatever the ribbons are. So whatever that is, either times 2, times 3. It's usually like right around $65, $67. I think I have mine priced at $67.
Right, because it's a pancake, you don't need as much.
You don't need as much. So here, now we're doing 7.5 inch tail, and we're going opposite side. So we started our tail here. We're starting our tail here on the opposite side. And now we're going to do 4.5 inch loop. So we're bringing it down 1/2 inch. So 4.5, 3 times. Right there. And then one more time. What was that? Could have been something outside fell. Pine cone. And then back out 7.5 inches. Dovetail the end. And we've got that one down. And then we're going to start opposite side for our third and final ribbon. See if that'll actually go in my roll. Okay, so we started here, so we're going to start our tail on the other side, and our tail is going to be 7 inches with our little gingerbread ribbon. So 7 inches in, twist, place on the inside, and now we're doing 4-inch loops 3 times. So there's one. Thinking that should be about 4. Yep. 2. We know that we got the bottom one already measured. So cheat and pull. But then we still need to make sure that our tail is only 7 inches. And then dovetail the end. And we are going to fluff this on our wreath because there's only 3 sets of ribbons, so it's not going to be like, wow, we need to fluff on a board and then try to take it off. No. Pipe cleaner. So I'm still going to prep this the same way. We're going to fold into a U shape, and then I'm just going to pick everything up, reposition, drop it in the center, hold from the bottom, and twist your stack. Okay. And we just need to figure out, where should we put the bow? I am feeling the bottom, so that's where I'm going to put my bottom. So I am going to kind of center this a little bit over that little bead area, going a little bit lower to start my bottom pipe cleaner, and then I'll bring it back up over the top because I don't want any of my ribbons to sit way up here on top of the gingerbread, but I also I'm just picking this up and putting my pipe cleaner on the other side of that mesh. But we have so many layers. This is why pipe cleaners can be challenging. So I'm just gonna position that right over the top, pull down, get that all secured, and now we're gonna fluff. So I'm gonna start with the bottom layer, which is our brown layer. So we have 2 loops on one side. Okay, we're going to bring those out. I'm going to take one of my tails and I'm going to kind of go up and over. And then we have our other loop here. So I'm going to take my loop up, but I'm going to let the tail hang down just like that. Let's get these guys to not compete. And then we're going to do the same thing with our green. We only have 1 here. So I'm going to take my tail, put 1 tail on one side, 1 tail on the other. going to pull my green up. And then over here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pull one up, one down, but get that brown a little bit over here. And then same thing with our little gingerbread men. We'll pull one high. Let's pull you down. One high, one low. And then you're just going to fluff until it falls in line with exactly like you would want. And if you feel like I want my tails to be shorter, I kind of don't like where they're falling, feel free to cut your tails to whatever length you want them to be. Like I want this one a little bit shorter. So we don't have a really big booming bow because we have a storm door that this needs to fit on. I know. Give me just 1 second. So I just kind of have them scattered in a couple different ways. And if you want your tails to resume their curl, just kind of slide your fingers over them, just like this. And then same thing here. And then we're going to add those little brown glitter balls, which look like this from Hobby Lobby. You can get them in their seasonal section for fall. And we're going to take the larger. So they have them, they're like 3 different sizes. So you have the large, the medium, the small. We're going to use the large, and the large are going to go right in the center of each one of our little V's, right on top of where our pipe cleaner is. And that will bring the brown into our design. Right here. Right here. Right down here. And last one, not last one, but one before the last one. Right there. And then we're going to tag one right in the center of our bow to kind of like bring all the elements together. And then just fluff to your desired look, just like that. Make sure you can see all your ribbon that you've used. I like putting the little arches back in them so they just kind of cascade down and around. So we can see everything on all the levels. And then I'll show you what it looks like on your standard front door. Mine's not storm door, but it is the size of a standard door. So it'll kind of help you perceive about how big that would be. So I'm always trying to make sure you can see all the ribbon all the way around. What do you guys think of the simplicity of the bow? What do you think of the layout of the design? Is this a design you would want to make? You see how easy it is, which is why they're so popular in wreath making classes, because they're so easy to teach.
And quick. Yeah.
And quick.
Carol Jeffrey said, so pretty, never done a pancake. Carol Walter said, this is so gorgeous, I love it.
Nice. And like I said, sometimes they just want to stack on top of each other. So just separate them.
Hi, Joan. She said, wishing everybody a good night. Can't stay awake any longer. She's in the UK.
Oh. Good night, Joan. Thank you.
Debbie said, love it.
Okay, so I'm going to pan you up. Hi all. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one down. Ugh. Can you tell we're doing a gingerbread theme?
Yeah.
And we're gonna put this one up, which is really lightweight. So much lighter. But, oops. I have a glue thread right there across my sign. But it's super simple. Easy to make. Trying to get it to hang on my door straight. There we go. Why are you not wanting to lay? Oh, I know why. Because that's where my pipe cleaner is. That's where. Okay. So, I'm just making sure we can see everything. Everything's like separated.
Yeah, Cheryl said I need to make one for my shop. That was a really cute wreath cat. Cheryl Walter said this makes me want to make one for sure.
Oh, absolutely. You should at least have one.
Then the Robin said I like it. It would work great for me because I have a storm door.
Right? And when you get ready to store it, when you're storing them, you fold everything flat. So your bows, you would take these and just fold them all flat, just flat. So that when you get ready to use it next year, why's my camera crooked? When you get ready to use it next year, all you do is lift the loops up on your bow and you're good to go. You have it for a whole nother year. And the diameter is still 24 to 25 inches. So you have not lost the size, but you've gone thinner. So it fits within a storm door. And it'll look great.
Joyce from Woodbury, Tennessee said you're beautiful. I love it.
Thank you, Joyce.
I love gingerbread men.
So, what are we doing on Thursday? We're going to finish off Gingerbread Week with one more design. So, I'm going to show you how to do gingerbread swag on a candy cane wreath form. So come back and join me on Thursday at 11 Pacific, which is 1 Central, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And I'll show you how to do that. Because mine is all about, what do I do if I can't find swag? What do I do if I can't find this? It'll be like, well, here's some other uses you may not have thought of. So I hope you guys will come back. And thanks for joining me and keep creating. Bye for now.